Salaam Alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Wassalamu Rasulullah, wa ba'd, in the name of Allah, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon His last and final messenger. Family, friends, foes, haters, and hateettes, welcome back to the Feachaz. I greet you all in peace and love with no hatred in my heart. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, and please share. As you know, we've got a lot of haters up in here, and today's show, wow, we got something so deep for y'all today, man. This is crazy, man. There has been a lot of news lately on a Black YouTube about certain events that have been coming out, and it's coming out so many. I might miss some, but what this shows is essentially what we've been talking about here in terms of the eventual demise of Black feminism. There's only a certain demographic of both men and women who want this thing. And the path of destruction it leaves is so far reaching that now, every single second, we are getting more and more and more stories about the ineffectiveness, for lack of better words, of Black feminism. Not just the ineffectiveness, the outright debauchery behind it. Nothing good ever came of Black feminism. Not a single thing. Not one positive thing. The only thing it leaves is absolute destruction. So the sisterhood is in shambles. And the chickens are finally coming home to roost in this vast social experiment called Black feminism. The strong Black independent experiment is finally coming full circle, and the writing is on the wall for these hyenas. If you look at the animal kingdom, if you look at the lions, the pride of lions, close, tight-knit prides that are run by the males, and the male lion protects its pride. And then you have the hyenas. The hyena is run by the female of their group. And the hyena, even the sexual organ of the hyena looks like a penis. Okay? And in the Black society, the wider Black society, it is run like the way that hyenas run their groups. So now we have all these situations coming out of like one after the other, right? It's just too much to be coincidence, because we have almost, now we're really reaching not just the second, the third, even the fourth solid generation of this experiment called Black feminism. And we started a few weeks back, not even that long ago, with an individual, even before, like, there's so many topics, but the one that went really viral was this situation with Carly Russell. Do y'all remember Carly Russell? I don't know if y'all remember Carly Russell. Well, I don't think we touched up on this, but it was a major story, a big story. Okay, so Carly Russell was this woman who essentially faked her abduction. Okay, this Carly Russell. And Carly Russell, if y'all remember, She is an Alabama woman. Let me just read this for you. I'm an Alabama woman who went missing for 2 days last week. This was back in, let's see, July 19th. So not that long ago. Okay. July 19th. Right? Online for information for Amber Alerts, local bus tickets, and abduction based action movie ticket taken before her disappearance, police say. So she planned this fake abduction. But you all might remember when this story first came out, how the Sisterhood were blaming black men for her disappearance. They went nuts. They started saying that black men are the ones who kidnapped her and was all over the internet. They went bonkers, okay? And ironically enough, though this particular story went viral, and it is quite fitting that a fake story of a black woman goes viral when, do you realize how many black women are literally disappearing in real life? If this was happening to white women, this would be an absolute epidemic. It would be in the media every single day. Do you know the numbers of black women actually being disappeared? And the one that it just happens to go viral is a fake Carly Russell abduction? Amazing. And according to the NAACP, as far back as 2012, they said, okay, that 64,000 black women, 64,000, do you know how many that is? 64,000 black women remain missing in the United States alone. Do you know how many women is 64,000? So that was 2012. You could imagine what it was today. Okay? And despite representing 13% of the population of the United States, Black Americans account for almost 34% of all missing persons reported in 2012. 34%. So what is it today? Whites and Hispanics make up an 80% clip combined, but account for only 60% of missing persons. The rest of that is covered by mostly black people at 34%. If you do the math, and the other 6% will be others that are not blacks or whites. And who were the Sisterhood blaming? Black men. And then when this came out, did they apologize? Did they say, you know what, we was wrong? No, they didn't say squat. They did not say squat. You might remember the story they came out with a Mr. Travis Rudolph and Dominic Jones. Travis Rudolph, the NFL player. Do you remember what happened with that? With Travis Rudolph and Dominic Jones? Travis Rudolph was facing life imprisonment for murder of Dominic Jones' brother. And what was the call back then? Protect black women. Turns out in the trial that this Miss Dominic Jones was not only a psychopath, but she recruited her brother as you can see from the title here, to shoot up his crap. Okay? I'm using the other word in the text. Okay? Travis Rudolph had enough of this psychopath who was, by the way, she was married at the time they were dating. And Travis Jones had no clue. She was a whole married woman. Or Travis Rudolph, he had no clue that Miss Dominique Jones was married at the time they were dating. A whole married woman. He's trying to kick her to the curb. She don't want to go. Okay? Then she tell her brother a whole bunch of stories, and her brother came to Mr. Travis Rudolph's house strapped to protect two black women. To protect black women. How many black men are dead or in jail because of protecting black women just like this? Exactly like this. Now her brother is dead for protecting this filth. Filthy woman. Go read that story. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But so many black men are in that very same situation. Yes, Sister Tika, she corrected me. Her brother's friend ended up getting shot. Okay? These are the black women we're supposed to protect. These ones. This is who we want. You want black men to protect like this, losing their life and their freedom for stuff like this. Right? When did this one happen? This one happened. Was the date on this? Let me check the date. May 26th. Okay, a couple of months ago. Big story. Okay. Then we have Rhoda Usman. Brickgate. What was the call for Rhoda Usman? Black men don't protect black women. Okay, black men do not protect black women. And all of black YouTube was talking about Rhoda Usman and Brickgate. Turns out there was no brick. There was no uh, assailant. And then she comes up with this, what she calls evidence. And who is running to her rescue to defend her? The same hyenas and gay black men that are trying to destroy black masculinity. The same ones. The very same ones. These folks who have no love for black men at all, anyways. They have separated, they are black, but they have separated themselves from black men and say that they are the black society. Black women, black children, and black gays. They are the black society. Okay? That's what they say. And don't let her sons grow up to be strong, heterosexual, assertive black men. Don't let that happen. They either have to be outrageously effeminate or gay, or some Pookie and Ray Ray. That's it. That's your only choices in life. castrating psychologically black boys to keep them in a perpetual state of arrested development. We're supposed to protect that. Then you have Lizzo. Okay, all of this is happening within weeks of each other. You remember Lizzo? I don't think we talked about that on that story, but this is another massive story that went crazy on black social media, where Lizzo is being sued for fat shaming. Can you imagine that? Lizzo is being taken to court for fat shaming and sexual assault. Lizzo. The irony, the absolute living contradiction, which is known as Lizzo. Lizzo accused of sexual harassment and fat shaming Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez. This is a couple of weeks ago, August 2nd. Not that far off. Pop star Lizzo being sued by 3 of her former dancers over claims including sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment. Legal action includes accusations of sexual, religious, and racial harassment, discrimination, assault, and false imprisonment. You can't make this crap up. You cannot. You know, we've been talking about Lizzo and what a despicable scourge she is on the black community. Absolutely despicable scourge. She clearly has enough talent, you know, to get on just on her talent only. But you're talking about a big, huge black woman, massive black woman, who insists that fatness is beautiful, and all her big, voluptuous beauty, Lizzo, on all of that, you think she's looking for a man that looked like her, a 300-pounder, you know, a roly poly? You think she's looking like that, looking for that? She ain't looking for that. Her boyfriend is a skinny dude. Y'all hearing me? With the number one cause of death for black people being heart disease related illnesses due to obesity. Okay? Here come Lizzo saying it's all good. The face of body positivity is Lizzo. International. She is body positivity. When you think of body positivity, the first person that comes up is Lizzo. And she don't put on anybody else except for other big, voluptuous, round, roly-poly black women or trannies. That's the only folks that she put it on. Big black trannies. That's it. That's her whole platform. She don't got to do that. But she going on stage wearing the most ridiculous, outrageous outfits and calling it confidence and all that kind of stuff. That's what she do. And now she's being sued. And now I mean, there's too much. There's Tia Mowry, who recently went viral One second, y'all. Let me try to find this. Here we go. Let me try to get this for y'all. One second. Watch this, y'all. This is crazy. This is Tia Mowry now. Look at this. Look at this. Tia Mowry opens up about dating. Okay, this is what she's saying now. Look at it. Look at this. Remember, Tia Mowry. She the one who said she graduated from marriage. Black women all across the West were applauding her leaving her man in her mid 40s and a whole family that she had, a man who loved her and she married to, the kids and everything. Talk about she graduated, she want to re-enter the dating market again in her mid 40s, right? What she got to say? Look at here. Watch this, y'all.
It got worse, but I feel like it's about to get worse. Oh! It got worse. It got worse. It got worse.
You can't make this stuff up.
But I feel like it's about to get worse. Oh! It got worse. It got worse.
That's her talking about her. Well, welcome to the wall. Welcome to the wall. The wall is undefeated. Okay? May Allah reward you and bless you, multiply for you a millionfold, Sister Tika. Burn it to the ground. The sisterhood, that is. We need real intelligence among real women. No more foolishness. But mind you, all of this is happening all within a short time span. All of this stuff that's going on. Okay? It's happening in real time, right? And it's happening in close proximity to, I've never seen anything like this before. Like the sisterhood is just crumbling, absolutely crumbling right before our eyes. So one of the pillars of the sisterhood is this making war with black men, okay? Because that's the whole point of black feminism, making sure there are no stable black families. The nuclear family unit in the wider black society is dismantled and demolished. And even among Muslims, black Muslims that is, we are so affected by this black feminism that even black Muslims haven't figured it out yet. Okay, they haven't figured out that it is black feminism that has essentially been the nuclear bomb in your community that can't hold it together. If you don't have a family, if you don't have a stable family union, you're not getting no community. I'm sorry. You're not getting, and the woman that you choose to marry is absolutely tantamount and the most important issue that every man should be considering: the woman that you marry. Okay, so from the pillars of black feminism is that I don't need no man, because again, you have to separate the man from the woman, and we've had a half a century solid of this rhetoric dating back to the late 60s with, the late 60s with Gloria Steinem, the CIA spook, who ended up in black magazines like Ebony and Jet, pushing this strong, independent black woman rhetoric. Okay? So, one of the ideologies that she used actually came from the founder of criminology. Did you know that there's an actual science in criminalizing black men, making sure that when you see a black man, you see a criminal? There's a science behind it. And this science is being used internationally. The founder of criminology, his name is Cesare Lombroso. We talked about him before on this channel. Okay. Cesare Lombroso, he was a psychiatrist and an anthropologist in the mid to late 1800s. That alone should tell you all you need to know about this dude. Okay. Remember, we told y'all that there are certain sciences that are considered mainstream sciences that are founded in pure white supremacy racism. Criminology is one of them, because they wanted to prove that you can tell a criminal just by their physical appearance. And anthropology is one of them, because they wanted to prove that the white race is superior to the black race. And how did they do that? By collecting the skulls of thousands of black Africans and comparing them to the skulls of a few white Europeans. They take the measurements and all that kind of stuff and say that black Africans have smaller brains and all kinds of stuff. That's how anthropology started. So Cesare Lombroso in Italy, right? He was a psychiatrist and anthropologist. Okay. He theorized that criminals have certain physical traits. Okay. And he called them criminaloids. Okay. You see, Miles got it spot on. Phrenology. Okay. He theorized that criminals have less sensitivity to pain. Okay. They lack morality. They lack remorse. They act impulsive and vindictive naturally. That's in their nature to act like this. Fast forward to 2023. What are black women saying about black men? What are they saying about them? Are they not saying that these black men don't have any morals? Are they not saying, look at Rhoda. You don't protect black women. You ain't nothing. All you do is attack, all this kind of stuff, all this crazy stuff. Where do you think they get this from? Meanwhile, graveyards are filled, hospitals are filled, jails are filled with black men who are protected black women. Is this not what black women are saying? Do not black women say to black men all the time, you ain't sensitive? You don't have any remorse. Is this not what these hyenas say about black men? Meanwhile, what we have going on is a massive social experiment coming full circle, because in the I want to say late 1960s, I believe it was, after the the Watts riots, the president of the United States at that time, I believe it was, who was the president? Was it Trudeau? I want to say Trudeau. No, not Trudeau. Trump's Truman. Sorry, I'm back in Canada. Truman. Okay. All right. But anyways, they after the Watts riots, they sent their think tank to go into the black community, right, and find out what is happening. Okay, and the advisory commission, the National Advisory Commission on Civil Disorders, right, was led by a man. His name was Governor Otto Kerner, right? It was also known as a Kerner Commission. Okay. Sorry, it was Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson, that was the president at the time, right? Lyndon B. Johnson. I'm still in Canada. I don't know what I was thinking. Trudeau, Turner. What was I saying? Lyndon B. Johnson was the president at that time. Okay. So it was the late 60s, right? And they went to find out what was going on. Why are these black people so angry? Like, why? They're like, black folks are angry at us? Like, why? What's going on here? Right? White folks were scared. Right? This was a turning point in American history. They were really scared. They never seen anything like this before. Okay? So they came back and they said that American society is moving in two directions. There are two different Americas. One black and one white. Separate and unequal. This is their own folks saying this, okay? Don't give them the excuse of plausible deniability. Okay? Their own folks are saying this. Okay? They're saying that America is moving into two directions, one black, one white, separate and unequal. And in order for us to remedy the harms that white society has inflicted on black society through 350 years of slavery, okay, through almost, 3/4 of a century of Jim Crow, okay, through all of that, through lack of opportunities, through making sure that black folks are completely locked out in participating in education, in voting, and in politics or whatnot, entrepreneurship, capitalism. In order to remedy that, then we would have to tax the white American populace to repair what we have done, us white folks, to the Negro population. That's what they wrote under Lyndon B. Johnson. Okay? They wrote that. And you know what they ended up doing? They ended up sending the money that they were supposed to send to black folk to Vietnam. And since that time, they have made sure with presidents like Nixon, presidents like Reagan, presidents like Clinton, the Bushes, you name it, even Obama, the first black president who did nothing for black people, literally nothing. He made sure the L's, the B's, the G's, the T's, the Q's, and then all the other outfit folks got everything they needed, but made dang sure that black folk were completely locked out of capitalism. And now here you have Kamala Harris once again inviting hip hop artists to campaign for her in 2023 for the 2024 campaign. Imagine that. Imagine that. But the point is They said back then, at the end of the 60s, that America was moving into two Americas, one black, one white, unequal, one poor, one rich, one educated, uneducated. Okay? They saying this back then. Has anything changed? No, nothing has changed. Except that there is a new voice around the larger, wider black society. Now, within the black society, there is a new black society. Okay? There's a new black society within the black society that is coming up and rising right now as we speak. Both of them separate. Both of them looking at each other unequally. You have the social engineering experiment, generations in the making now. You have now the daughters, the mothers, the grandmothers, the great grandmothers now of a lineage of single mothers and mutts. And then you have the other black society who are saying, you know what, we really don't need to do this anymore. We really do not need to do this anymore. They're looking at you like the hyenas, like, do you want to be strong, independent black woman with the LGBTs and whatnot? You go right ahead. But we don't want nothing to do with you. We don't want nothing to do with you. Look around you, black people. Just look around you. Look in your communities. Do you not find in your very own communities entire generations of single mothers? Like entire generations. All led by some old black single mom with the children, the grandchildren, the great grandchildren, all of them. Even I've seen some videos on Facebook and what's the other one? Instagram. Right? These women, they're showing the generations. They're showing the baby, the daughter, the mother, the grandmother, the great grandmother, and the great great grandmother, all in one video. All in one video. Some of y'all might have seen those ones floating around. And there's a whole generation of black folk that are saying, really, this is not about being tired, sick and tired, and fed up. And we ain't really begging y'all to be part of what you do you. It is crumbling right before your eyes anyways. Nobody wants to be around that stuff. And I mean, nobody want to be around that stuff. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Jordan M showing up. What's popping, bro? Nobody want to be around that stuff. The daughter, the mother, the grandmother, the great grandmother, the great great grandmother, all single moms, all with all different children from different baby daddies. And the same bad baby daddy got like 10, 15 different baby mamas. You have like 20% of the men impregnating 80% of these women. And they want to run the show? They have to run their own show. Black feminism is putting on display for the whole world to see the chaos that they have caused. Too many even there's more examples I can bring in, all within days and weeks of each other. It's like I've never seen anything like this before. Not in so much close proximity, like never. Story after story after story after, like it's too much. Too much. The sisterhood is in an extreme shambles. And it's being exposed for exactly what it is. That strong Black independent that produced generation after generation after generation of single mothers. Black folk right now, they're talking marriage. They're talking keeping the family unit together. They're talking lineage and legacy. That is the talk. They're talking patriarchy. They're talking building families so we can build communities. That is what's going on right now. And the sisterhood is being looked at as the scourge of the community. They're being looked at as the torment. They're being seen as the plague, the blight. The system that brought you your Cardi B's and your Meg the Stallions, and now your Sexy Reds, and who else is there? Who else is dirty looking like I can't remember all their names, but they're disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And we are telling our own folks that this talk that we talking, right? The talk only takes you so far. The talk only takes you so far. Action is way more powerful than just talk. Keeping your actual families together carries much more weight than talking about it. Than blowing up your families, nuking your families. Entire families looking like whatchamacallit, daycares. Can't even tell these kids are brothers and sisters because so many different baby daddies. The talk now is that is disgusting. That's the talk today. That is gross. The woman with the big mouth, we don't want it. That's the talk today. The man who has these really effeminate traits, like being argumentative, must make his opinion known every 2 seconds, every single time he gets triggered. We ain't putting we don't care for that anymore. We want to see men be movers and shakers and doers. We want men to network and build together and have the ability to carry out discourse civilly, to be able to disagree without breaking relationships and severing ties. That's the talk that we're talking today. Ain't no man out here putting up with this backbiting stuff. Like you know how many black men, and we know our people, right? They backbite like women, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous. Backbiting is generally seen as a womanly trait. Like backbiting and gossip, and you know what I'm saying? Even all the gossip channels, if you look at all the gossip channels, what are they? They're mostly women or gay men, celebrity gossip and stuff like that. How are you a grown man and you want to backbite people? I'm backbiting a whole bunch of folks we don't even know. Like why do we care? We out here, we're trying to actually do something, right? We are studying, we are working with our kids, we're trying to raise our kids properly. You know what I mean? Getting our kids into college and university and these type of things. This is what we're trying to do. We ain't got time to worry about what this one said and what that one said, and all kind of stuff. We ain't worried about that. We're seriously not worried about that. Like, why I need to have a conversation with you about another person that, really don't care like that and have long conversations. That's an effeminate trait. That is an effeminate trait. So much so that even the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned it. He mentioned to the woman that to give charity, give sadaqah, because the majority of the inhabitants of the fire are women, and they're in the fire because of their mouth. Okay, because of their mouth. So give sadaqah. But black men, they carry these traits. Why? Because we were raised around women, and not just any type of women, very dominant women who are strong, black, and independent, and don't need no man. Women who will fight to make sure that the fathers of their kids are not in the house. They will fight for that. They will send their children's fathers to court and all kind of stuff, extort them through the court system, through child support and all kind of stuff. And Muslim women doing this. Can you imagine? Muslim women who make careers extorting other men through the Kafir court system for having their babies, and chances are that they're the ones who blew up their relationship anyway, right? Because 80% of black women, they're the ones who divorced their men. 80%. All the suffering, all the pestilence being put on display publicly. Meanwhile, in Muslim land, okay? Meanwhile, in Muslim land, finally, the imams are finally talking about this. Finally. I have to give a special shout out to Brother Shadid Muhammad, Imam Shadid Muhammad, because he'd been talking about this from day one, right? About the black marriages. Since he came back from Medina, that was his focus, the black marriages, keeping the family together, all that kind of stuff. From day one, he'd been talking about it. But now you're finding more and more and more and more imams talking about it. That's the talk today. That is the talk today. A talk isn't, black men don't protect black women. This is criminal. This is criminal to say that black men don't protect black women when you see with your own eyes, even in your own community, amongst your own people, and even from your own sons and your own brothers, the amount of death and destruction that has been left in the black community from black men protecting black women. Absolutely criminal. Absolutely criminal. And in the culture now, particularly hip hop culture, the enemy is pushing very hard because even they know that the talk is different. For those of y'all who were into hip hop like I was, like if the older, those of you who are older, right? You might remember from the first kind of raunchy rappers like Roxanne Shante, right? Back in the 80s, right? She was like high shock value back then, right? Roxanne Shante. And then they graduated from Roxanne Shante to Lil Kim, right? From Lil Kim to Nicki Minaj, from Nicki Minaj to Cardi B, from Cardi B to what you call it, Sukiana, and Sukiana to this little herpes. What's her name again? The one from Dallas. I can't remember that. Walking around looking like a herpy. You know what I mean? Like all these, but it's graduating, and just getting worse and worse and worse, right? And now we have like folks like Sexy Red and these type of folks, Salt and Pepper. Well, Salt and Pepper, I mean, they had their thing here, but I wouldn't consider them so raunchy. But they had their little songs here, like Push It and that kind of stuff, right? But they definitely wasn't no Little Kim, like absolutely not, right? Nothing compared to these new ones. Absolutely, like Asiata said, nothing compared to these new ones. Absolutely nothing compared to these new ones. Okay, right? And they're a bunch of no talents, like literally no talents. Any retard off the street, and one of them retarded too. Like one of them, like can't remember, what's that girl name? Y'all know who I'm talking about, man. That retarded one, man. Uh, you know what I mean? But anyways, right? Little retarded now. They're putting retarded people in front of you now to give you your culture. You get what I'm saying? This is an experiment. They want to make sure that they can corrupt your minds. You get me? So here's the thing about men, though. Here's the thing about men. A man, if you have a man in the house, he will never, ever, ever, ever. That's the one. That's the one. Rain Network. Glorilla. That's the one. That's the one. That she's like a herpy pimple, man. Straight up. You look at her, you say this girl got STD just by looking at her. Like you know how Cesare Lombroso said if you look at a person, you can tell if is a criminal. You look at her, you tell her like that girl got AIDS in her mouth and stuff, man. Like straight up, like what the heck? You get me? Glorilla. But anyways, the point is, yeah, Trina. Somebody one of y'all said Trina. Look at the Taylor man. I consider Trina last album far more vulgar than Sexy's album. There you go, Trina. Yep. That's another one, Trina. You know, all these people, they push it in front of you. Right? You got to understand as a Muslim what's happening in your community. Any man in the house would never, ever, ever let his daughter or his sons listen to that crap. If they catch them, believe me, somebody gonna get hurt, and it ain't gonna be the daddy. It is not gonna be that, and it won't be no talking either. No self-respecting man will let his son or his daughter listen to no Trina stuff. It's not happening. This is single mother music. Y'all hearing me? This is not a music that a nuclear family would allow in their house. It just would not happen. It would not happen. A strong nuclear family with the husband, the father, the older brothers, the older sisters, and the uncles. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. But bring the sisterhood. What will the sisterhood call it? The sisterhood will call it expressing my femininity. The sisterhood would call it my body, my choice. The walking herpy pimple, Glorilla, openly told her fans that you should wild out in your 20s because you're not going to be in your 20s forever. So go wild as much as you can. Be as sexually promiscuous as much as you can in your 20s because when it's over, you can't get that. You go have fun. Go out and have fun. That's her advice. That's her big advice. And in the age of social media, those of you who are older, do you notice how stupid people are today? Sorry to say it like that. Do you notice the rise of stupidity amongst the people? People are just dumb. They're like this generation coming up. If you're like under 30, like you're borderline retarded. They're dumb. Why are they dumb? Because they don't have any critical thinking skills. Why don't they have any critical thinking skills? Because all their information that they get in life is consumed in front of a screen of some sort. Whether it is a computer screen or a telephone screen or a laptop screen or a tablet screen, that's how they consume information. You get me? So if you look on, even on Muslim YouTube, how these folks talk about the YouTubian elites, I mean, it's mind-numbingly stupid, some of the comments that you see. Mind-numbingly stupid, okay? The way that they twitch and twirl and twerk for a personality in front of a screen. Absolutely amazing. But the point is, if you have an entire generation like this, and that's the stuff that they consume, if that's the stuff that they consume, then of course they're going to be dumb. They can't have any thoughts of their own. They think that crap is real. You know, a lot of the stuff that I get, look, most of y'all are sending it to me because you know what I'm saying. So I don't even have to search I don't have to search Facebook or Instagram anymore like that because a lot of y'all, and I thank y'all for it because you'll send me the stuff. You get me? A lot of you'll send me stuff from TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, whatever, and I kind of like when I got time to look through it, and I'm like, wow, like I might not comment back, but because social media, right? But like people believe this stuff, like it's like crazy, right? But people will believe anything that's popular, and you can literally make anything popular by monetizing it. If you monetize it, it will be popular. If you pay for views in our time, you will get people to follow you. This is how the alt-right right now is gathering momentum. This is why I strongly believe that Donald Trump or somebody Trump-esque, like his son or like some far right person will be the next president of the United States. It's not going to be a Democrat. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's going to be a Democrat. I strongly believe it's going to be something like that, regardless of his trial, regardless of the fact that he is disqualified from actually running for presidency because of his indictments. He can't actually legally run, but he's running the Republican Party right now from behind his indictment. He is controlling Congress right now based on tweets. Amazing. You don't think that your kids can be controlled through social media? An entire populace of the United States and large part the world is being controlled by Donald Trump from social media, from tweets. You have what's going on in Canada right now. I know it's a little bit on a sidetrack, but in Canada, right, what's going on between India and Justin Trudeau? They are putting their foot to make sure that the next Prime Minister of Canada is going to be not just a whatchamacallit, right-leaning, but far right. China interfering with elections in Canada right now as we speak. China, okay? India interfering, assassinating people in Canada. Assassinating people in Canada. You can't make this crap up. Okay? It's happening right now. Many governments are going to be not just right-leaning on the political spectrum. They're going to be far right. That's coming to Canada. That's coming to United States. It is coming. Mark my words. You heard it here first. Okay? It's in Brazil right now. It's in Italy right now. It's coming to Britain. It's coming to France. Mark my words. It's already in India. Many governments are going that route. Many governments are going that route. You don't think that these same folks can monetize how your children think through social media? You don't think that can happen? Listen to how these kids speak. Talk to your kids. Try to have a conversation with them. I guarantee you it's not like how we used to speak. They speak like whatchamacallit? Like video game characters or YouTube or something. They actually talk like that. They don't know what a book is. So in the wider Black society, because we've been dealing with this so long, there's a segment of the Black society that is essentially saying, we don't need to convince anybody. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is right there. Like, how much proof do you want more? Like, you need more proof than this? We are moving on with or without you. And the position of the Muslims, particularly the sellers, we are 30 years behind. 30 years, solid years behind. Why are we 30 years behind? Why do you say that, I say that because we allowed other folks to come in and control our dawah. We allowed other folks to come in and tell us who we can and who we can't work with. We built many, many, many large Islamic organizations with our talent, with our speakers, with our scholarships, and we still have nothing to show for it in 2023. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay? When you think of South Asians, you think of like places like Isna, Ikna, that them kind of things. You think of the Arabs, things like Mac and stuff like that. You think of any other community. They have their things going on. And even according to Ikna study, every other people group has expanded in their masjid. Every other people group has expanded in their masajid, except for Black people. We're the only ones who are in decline. You go into the Black Muslim community in Philly, what's going on there? What's happening there? And then on top of that, you have the Black Hebrew Israelites who are absolutely growing And what they're saying is a whole bunch of nonsense. They're saying a whole bunch of nonsense, man. Astonishing. You're getting outworked by Black Hebrew Israelites of all people. And we put out on this channel several times the stuff that they sing. The children would be absent in the masjid. Sister Aisada said they would be absent from the masjid because what the Black imams coming back have done is that they have taken the dawah of Arabs and presented it to Black people like a solution for their problems. Instead of taking the religion of Islam and leveraging that to make it a solution for our problems. So what are the problems going on in the Arab world? Them folks is fighting with Sufis and stuff, okay? They fighting with Ikhwanis and stuff. That's their fight. That ain't our fight. That ain't got nothing to do with us. We got problems with single motherhood. We got problems with gangsterism. We got problems with poverty. Massive problems with poverty, okay? Every single social ill you can think of, that's our problem. And on top of that, we got problems pointing the finger in our face, saying that you're the problem. They ain't coming to help us. That's kind of a blessing in a way because ain't nobody coming to help us. So now we have to be dependent on Allah. We must be dependent on because Allah is the only person that can actually help us in our situation. And exactly like how Allah blessed the pagan Arabs, if you look at the pagan Arabs, the Arabs in Jahiliyyah, the people closest to them is the descendants of slaves in the West in terms of the debauchery and the poverty and all kind of stuff. The similarities are astonishing, absolutely astonishing. The whole world, when they came across Arabs, they look at them like basically the armpits of human civilization, right? Isn't that how the world looks at you today? Like the armpits of human civilization? So now you ain't nobody coming this, nobody cares. Right now as we speak, Joe Biden is making sure to flood America with Venezuelans and Hispanics because he understands very well that Black folk ain't voting for Democrat anymore. Those days are done. They done. Okay? So he's opened up the floodgates. Hundreds of thousands of Hispanics now coming in to make sure that they vote Democrat. That's what's going on right now as we speak. Okay? And this has happened before. That's the funny thing. This has already happened. I'll do a live about that tomorrow. But it already happened, right, with the Homestead Act. When they wanted to make sure to neutralize the demographic of Black folk, what did they do? They invited this is the same thing, hundreds of thousands of Europeans telling them that they white. They weren't white before, but now they white. All of them. People who were not white before. Italians became white. Greeks became white. Irish they all became white. Because they wanted to make sure that the Black population did not outnumber the white population. So they all got invited to become white. All of them. With the Homestead Act. Millions and millions and millions of acres of land given away free. While the Black population didn't get a single blade of grass. And it's happening again. So y'all got to see the writing on the wall here, right? These people ain't coming to help you. They come to save you. You can beg them all you want for reparations, all that kind of stuff. They're not giving it to you. It's not going to happen. Okay? It's just history repeating itself. They up to their old tactics again. They invited the white folks from Europe. Now they invited the Hispanics from Venezuela and stuff. You get it? So the only person you can depend on is Allah. And that society, that segment of black society that insists of the sisterhood, let them be their separate segment of society. They will eventually destroy themselves. They will eventually destroy themselves. So imagine Hispanic Heritage Month. And this is how culture wars are fought. Right? Didn't black folk get excited? We got so excited when we got Martin Luther King Day. Those of you older remember, right? First, we got Martin Luther King Day. That was Martin Luther King's birthday. So we got one day out of the year to celebrate Black history. Then we complained a little bit. Then we got Black History Week, right? We got a week, a whole week. Why are we only getting a week? Then we got a month. We were happy about Black History Month. Can you imagine? But that's how they play the game. They give you symbolic gestures. Symbolic gestures, right? Because they ain't trying to help you like that. And we think symbolism is a win. When wins and losses have always historically been defined by actual wins and losses. Like what's happening in Africa right now. It is a win for West Africa. Even right now, the talk is in Chad. Chad is now kicking out France. So you have Guinea, you have Niger, you have Burkina Faso, okay? You have Mali. You had a suspicious coup in Gabon, and now you have Chad. Y'all hearing me? But anyways, family, I want to thank Sister Tika for her generosity. May Allah reward you and bless you and multiply it for you a millionfold. Ameen. Everybody say Ameen. There's 17 y'all who visit me right now. I want to see some likes. I want to see some shares and leave some comments in the comment section as well. So get the algorithms on this channel. All right. And I want to thank everybody who joined me tonight, everybody who left a comment, all my guests, all my friends and family. And we will see you guys tomorrow, inshallah. Subhanakallah bihamdik, wa shahada la ant, wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi